Yep, all good to go. Fantastic. All right, thanks for that, guys. All right, Kate. So first up, a huge congratulations. That's a stellar result, Kate. Well done.
It's quite hysterical. Yeah, my business partner and I were chuckling this morning. She said her husband has now taken quite a considerable interest in this this annoying business that it was when you know, the disdain that he looked at me when I first kind of came into their orbit. Now he's kind of engaging with the whole process with quite a considerable degree of interest. Yeah, so it's been
You've turned him around. You've converted him.
He is converted. Yes, yes. As is she. So this product is an example product that I said she came. We met. We had been introduced by somebody, and they said, you know, she wanted to introduce her business to me, and she did her pitch, and then I said, look, can I just show you what I'm doing? And it'd be great to partner, because I could see she was a really smart cookie. And from that, I said, look, how about I put us through the exact, you know, Aussie online entrepreneur process, step by step, and I put you through the process as though we were doing a coaching exercise. And so we did the research exactly the same, and have pretty well executed it according to the AOE process, with some sloppy bits around the edges, let's just say, because at the time I was extremely busy. I was doing a major report for Regional Development Australia. So I didn't have a huge amount of psychological bandwidth or time or whatever to, you know, engage in this. But we used our local environment. I suppose there was a new shop that had started, and we observed that with interest and kind of explored what they were doing. That shop has since closed down, but it got us on a track, and we decided that our niche was going to be preteen girls who, you know, people talk about finding the problem. The problem for a lot of people is what you get preteen girls. They're kind of quite hard. They're not kids anymore. They're not teenagers. What's appropriate? They're starting to make decisions about what they like and what they really don't like. And they can be extremely difficult for people to buy for. So that was our problem, a particular category of girls. And we've just found kind of a product that could be adapted to different niches, and that's been quite interesting. So it's a product that is worn by tweens, so it's 8 to 13-year-old. My 15-year-old thinks it's a really daggy product, but you know, the younger girls love it. So it's very age specific. And we started with the horse niche, then we went to dance niche, and now we're expanding into, and we've just actually kind of switched. We've done the horse word in Latin, in Spanish language. So we're seeing if that's going to run. And our first review was my daughter's father, who did a very kind of, I'm a bit of a slack-ass male, and my daughter's really obsessed with horses, so I bought this, you know, because it was beautifully gift-wrapped. And from then on, we had a run of fathers buying this because it solved a problem for them. What do I get my horse-loving girl? I can't buy her a horse, so I'll get this product. So we've been quite targeted with how we've been marketing it, and we've been marketing to fathers, to aunts, to grandmothers, to all the sort of family members that are a bit kind of baffled by this particular age group of girls.
That is very, very smart. You've laid out in that very short synopsis of what you've done a really, really brilliant way. I hope everybody's I was taking notes then. I hope everybody's took some notes then about what Kate just said. So here's what I got from that. My notes are, Kate started with the problem and then went to find the marketplace. She wasn't too fussed about making her listing perfect. It was more about, let's just get the bloody thing up. Is that fair for me to say, Kate?
That's absolutely the way.
Yes. Have you since made amendments and kind of
changed? Oh, all the time, all the time, because then Susie got into lots of variations, and I kind of, when we realised that we had this bolting horse of a product, I kept saying, you do realise that we've got to keep ordering, and you're doing so many, you're doing a range of variations, and now we don't have the depth of product, so we're going to have to keep reordering. So there's been a bit of inventory management lessons around it.
Yes.
And each variation requires a whole other lot of different photographs and different all of that stuff. So yeah, we're kind of constantly catching up with it, but it's bolting, and it's been bolting, and I suppose when I realised that we were that it was starting to pick up pace, that's when I started posting it on Facebook, just for people to get an idea of kind of some of the issues coming through as you're dealing with volume. Our margins are, look, we're at 40% in terms of the product. So, when we initially, and, where I went, it was an explanation product, showing her, how you go about doing this. So it was kind of a bit of a throwaway. It was 50 cents to buy the product. We bought 200 of them. We didn't go through the insurances and all the security stuff because it was a small amount. Mm-hmm. We bought the packaging. So the packaging is critical. Mm-hmm. It's been the packaging that has stood us apart from the Chinese. And in fact, there's one company that is the American competitor, and I imagine they're a bit annoyed at the moment because we've probably stolen a big chunk of their volume. And I noticed that they've diversified in their variations since we've been on the scene, because it's definitely them and us that are competing, and we've got this pretty kind of packaging that that stands us apart from the rest of the, that we're already, our product is gift ready. So I'm imagining a grandmother or an aunt sending it to the girl, who's in another state, and it's arriving gift wrapped, or, gift presented.
Yeah.
And I think we've got a lot of stocking stuffers going out at the moment.
So that then suggests then that you believe that this product is seasonal in nature?
No. Well, yes. In that we've had this Christmas run, and now we're going, okay, now we're gearing up for Valentine's Day, and then thinking Easter, mm-hmm. And then thinking sports season, and then thinking, because so there's quite a range of different variations that we can do. And yeah, I suppose it's seasonal in the sense that, that's how we're marketing at the moment, very much seasonally, but it's going to also be an evergreen in the sense that it is for birthdays, it's a birthday present. So
again, lots and lots of gold just in what Kate's just said, lots and lots of gold within that. So this concept of Kate understanding her buyer, the actual, because there's a difference between who the product is for versus who's buying the product. And Kate recognized from the get-go that this product was aimed at tweens, but was going to be purchased by people, as Kate said. So as you can hear already, if you listen to what she's saying, the avatar of the customer being described, it's potentially the uncle or the auntie or the father could be somebody out of state, solves a problem for them. It's gift wrapped. It comes well, it's not gift wrapped, but it's gift ready in that it's got nice packaging. So she's thought this through, even though, in her words, she kind of got it up there quickly, but she still has done the right things with regards to thinking it through in terms of who's actually going to buy the product and who's the product for and what problem the product solves. Really, really smart thinking from her part. Very, very smart. And you're selling this just in the US market currently, Kate?
At the moment, I can't get into Australia at this stage, and looking at Canada. But we've just been a bit, I suppose, just dealing with executing, getting everything there for Christmas, because it did start to go very fast. And I'm just, working at optimizing all the listings as much as I can. Because, we didn't take this terribly seriously at the beginning. Now we're at the process of, I've cleaned up the logo, so that when we do another batch, it's a smarter looking logo, because, Susie was, bolting out the door, and I wanted a couple of more iterations on the brand. And so I've cleaned up the brand to my kind of requirements. So next batch, it's being upgraded, and we've now done a trademark application in the US and a trademark application in Australia. So in the background is, okay, we're going to be building this brand. We should take this a bit more seriously. And one of the trends that I have presented to people is, the rising Asian middle class, that women have gone online big time and are buying for 3 generations. And the other one was individualization and looking at ways of building products that can be quite individualized. And that's actually, we've realized, without really kind of consciously knowing what was going on, is that because there's words on our product, and those words can change depending on the niche, but it's the same product. It's actually, what we're doing is kind of a level of individualization without it getting caught up with names and all of those things, which make variation management impossible.
I've got lots and lots of questions and lots of questions coming in for you. But 2 things I want to ask immediately. The first one is, you mentioned you're not selling in Amazon Australia yet. Have you applied to sell in Australia?
From every different way we could approach it.
Okay, good. So, folks, if you're listening in and you're sitting there waiting to get your application put through, just know that here's Kate, very, very successful on Amazon already, and she's in the same boat as you, just as I am too, and I know that many, many people are. So just know it's normal for you to be waiting. It's A-OK. And then in terms of sales, I know that you emailed me today or Skyped me today saying that you cracked the 20 grand. Have you done any kind of forecast now on where this is going to go?
Well, look, today it's 21,000, so we seem to be adding in 1,000 each day. Look, I suppose where we're going is saying, okay, if this can be a 25 grand a month product, clearly we've got the Christmas rush going on. But if we diversify our markets and look at some offline strategies as well, which are very targeted, using Facebook, we think probably quite comfortably we can get this to 25 in an ongoing basis.
That's fantastic. So one product, $300,000 a year. Fantastic work. Yeah. Did I hear you right when you said you're working on about 40% margins at the minute?
That's right.
So, that's what, 120,000 a year from that one thing?
Because our marketing has been so precise, to grandmothers of tween girls, our marketing has been very low cost.
Which is phenomenal.
So
I'm going to give you one tiny little piece of possible thing to do. Go source a Plan B supplier.
Yep.
So you can diversify your suppliers now, because as soon as your supplier starts seeing you with a runaway product,
Yep.
it's time to go diversify your suppliers and see if you can find somebody else who'll supply to, and then split your orders between the two of them. So your supplier
Yep.
doesn't see all of a sudden you making basically $300,000 a year from that one product. They'll
Yep.
get interested in that point in selling on Amazon, which sucks, but it happens all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, there's the yeah. We'll see. Yeah, but the packaging and everything is I suppose a wee point of difference. We're looking also at, we've got a couple of other products. Actually, I was looking at the grommet and in a workshop.
Yeah.
Workshop that I was presenting, and there was a product that was in our category that had 200,000 views, and I noted that for further research.
Very nicely done. So do you want to just mention quickly what the grommet is for those people that don't know?
Okay, the grommet's a really interesting site to have a look at. It's got new products that are coming through. They're quite on the ball. And what's interesting about the grommet is Neil's trick of every product has a video, and you can look at the video on the grommet site, or you can click through to YouTube via that video. And YouTube's valuable in the sense that it tells you how many people have watched that product video, and it gives you a good idea of what the market interest is. And there were 200,000 views of this particular product, which was not exciting or riveting, but it had been watched.
Yeah, well, that's a lot of views. So as Kate says, all you need to do is go to the product page, click on the YouTube link and open it, and then you'll be able to see the product on the grommet. And from there, you'll be able to see how many views that's had. And then clearly, as the views go up, more and more people are interested in it. So it's a great piece of advice from Kate. All right, I've got a few questions for you, Kate, if that's cool, from some people.
Yep.
David Jacobs says, did the variability increase sales and interest in the product range? In hindsight, if you had restricted the product to one or two, would it have been better?
Yep. Absolutely. we would have had a more coherent launch strategy, no question, and we would have had a deeper supply sitting in FBA, so that when we started to gain traction, it wouldn't have been quite such a scramble. And every time we were doing orders, she'd discover more variations, and away we went again. It was really hard to contain her. So yeah, but however, now we've got the variations. During this period, of the 21K that we earned, we upped the price considerably to slow people buying them, and we also put some of the variations on hold whilst we were waiting for more product supply.
Did the actual price increase slow sales as much as you thought it was going to do?
No, they kept selling.
That's interesting.
And the ones that that were slow before now have all sold out. Now we've got to deal with the fact, so it's, let's just say inventory management is one of the challenges, and getting enough product there. But we just sent over 1,000, and we've just ordered another 6,000. So we're going to have a deeper supply line from now on.
That's brilliant. I love it. All right, next question is from Rach. Rach says, Kate, how long did the process take you from absolute beginning to your first sale? P.S. Love your work.
Okay, so I was just looking back over that today, and Susie and I met in April, and we started looking around and getting various different samples and exploring. The brand was kind of put together June, and then we started to kind of get the orders in. So it's really been on there for about 4 months. And we started with a purchase of 200. This is hysterical. I was just looking back over this. Where did I put the figures? It was, first order was 200 and they were 50 cents each. They're now 46 cents each. The packages were 5 cents each. So, and we've just, done a significant order of those. So, it's not an expensive product. So, people have been talking to me about margins. And so we have cut corners around, various different, things that you talk about, which you would put into place if you had a more expensive product. But as this is a low cost product, we're going, okay, this is a low cost strategy. In October, we did an order for 1,500 and with 1,500 packages, and we've just done another order for the 6,000. Well, we did that, 2 weeks ago.
That's brilliant.
So, yeah. So we're looking at, and it's a 40% margin at this stage. We started doing fulfillment over in the US, and they that was turned into, we kind of thought, look, we've got all these kids, why don't we put them to work? So we do have a day of fulfillment, where we put the entire team into action.
That's great. I love that. So you've kind of combined that into educating kids too. It's great.
Yeah, so we've got the kids kind of helping with the packaging, and we're paying them, and we'd rather pay the kids than somebody overseas.
Totally. Okay, thank you for that. Next question from Sahil. How much have you spent on marketing?
Well, I've got the report in front of me, and for the last 2 weeks, our cost of advertising was $239.
$239?
Yep.
To make $20,000?
Well, no, that was for 2 weeks.
Oh, for 2 weeks. Okay,
yeah. So yeah.
$10,000.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. So just to confirm then, your advertising strategy, because Elke, this will answer your question too, is to run very, very targeted PPC campaigns through Amazon, using the Amazon infrastructure to do that.
Yep.
And nothing else.
Now, that's right. We've done Instagram. My daughter's controlling the Instagram account because she doesn't like the way I manage it. And she's also got the Facebook image management happening. We've used our children very much in terms of photographs and modelling, seeing their target market. When Kira and I go out, we often take the products so that we can show and tell them. So we can take photographs in different contexts. So we're building a visual reference frame for this. So that we use that on social media and what have you. So there is reference from the social media, and she works the young people in terms of driving them to the shop. Both the Facebook and the Instagram are driven to the shop, but the majority of the traffic has been through PPC, and that's probably because the two of us have been pretty busy doing everything else and driving a full camp. It hasn't been a major, the group management and building all of that. We just haven't had the kind of wherewithal to do that. We've just been focusing on the PPC and defining our niches.
Now, let me stop you there, Kate, because, again, some solid gold within that. So the first thing that Kate's kind of referenced quite a few times now is that Kate is bloody busy. And I know Kate. She works extremely hard, doing a lot of different things, as well as doing coaching for people who want their Amazon businesses to go faster. She does that too. But she's busy, she's not just doing this full time. if anything, it's extremely part-time for her. Okay, that's the first thing to recognize. Secondly, at no time has Kate said anything about wanting things to be perfect before she got started. On the very contrary, what she's done is got started, and then she's trying to make things better as she goes and as she learns things. So if you're sitting there waiting for things to be perfect, you're really missing out on getting your product up and making sales. Is that fair for me to say, Kate?
Yes, it is. And I'm going to have to be dreadful. I have a daughter that's at a Christmas party and that it's outside, and she's saying, please hurry, can you pick me up? And I'm going to have to run away.
Well, that's A-OK. She is, after all, your model for your product, so we totally get it. You've got to look after the talent. Once again, thanks so much. Really appreciate you taking time to tell us about your business, and congratulations on a hugely successful run of your business too.
Fantastic. Thank you. I'm sorry to cut that off, but I know where she is, and it's in an industrial estate. I can't kind of leave her there by herself.
No, totally get it. Kids come first for sure.
All right. Cool.
Fantastic. Bye-bye.
Good night, everyone.
So I think that was extremely cool. So just to reiterate, when Kate was talking, I was taking some notes. Some of the things that I got from that was that she started with the problem, not with the product. She started with a problem, and then she figured out the marketplace for that problem, and then she looked for a product that would meet the needs of that marketplace and solve the problem that she came to terms with. That was a very, very insightful thing to say. She also mentioned quite a few times that it was extremely targeted, both through her packaging, the way she put her packaging together. She knew who the ultimate customer was going to be for her product. Wasn't going to be the actual recipient of the gift. It was going to be the buyer of the gift. That was ultimately was going to be the buyer of it. She knew that. She also made sure that it was very, very targeted. She talked about getting the listing variations, things like getting it translated into Spanish, for instance, which is a really good idea on Amazon.com. And the big thing was, doesn't need to be perfect. You just need to get started. It's very, very difficult to make something perfect while you're standing still. It's much easier to correct your direction while you're moving forward, and that, I think, is the number one thing to take out of what Kate's just told us, that you should just get started. That's the most important thing.
Hey, Neil here. Just before you go away, that was a question that I got asked on my regular Monday night Q&A session, which I have with the members of the Aussie Online Entrepreneurs. So if you're interested in joining us as an Aussie Online Entrepreneurs, then you can click on the link below to find out a lot more about that. And also, as a special thank you for watching this video, I've got a great book that I want to give you for free. It's a current bestseller on Amazon, and it teaches you everything that you would need to know about starting a business here in Australia on Amazon. So you can see that just up there. So if you'd like to get a copy of that for free, then again, just click on the link below and you'll get a copy of that. You'll get taken to a page where you can get a copy of that for absolutely free. Hope you enjoyed that little snippet from one of my Aussie Online Entrepreneur Q&A sessions, and make sure that you subscribe to my channel and also like this video. And if you've got a question that you would like answering, then post it in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer it, whether on one of these videos for you or directly in the comments directly below. All right, thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time on the next of the Aussie Online Entrepreneurs Amazon FBA Australia videos. See you soon.